In this video, we're going to introduce the concept of hypothesis testing and give an example of why people do hypothesis test. So let's say that we have a candy bar, and that candy bar should weigh 43 grams. That's what the company claims, is that the average candy bar is going to weigh 43 grams. We have three separate friends, so we're going to be running three different scenarios, and each of those three friends weigh 100 candy bars. So they each get 100 candy bars and they all weigh them. And we're going to assume that the population standard deviation is 12 grams. That'll come into play as we start to go through our hypothesis test. So let's say in the first scenario, this person starts weighing their 100 candy bars, and the first one weighs 26 grams, the second one weighs 30 grams, the third one 40 grams, then they get one that's actually 43 grams, and then they get one that's 29 grams, and they go on, and they weigh 95 more candy bars, and they come up with their sample mean, their X bar, the average of the 100 candy bars that they weighed, to be 40 grams. So they say, and I'm not really sure what the population mean is, but I do not think that it is 43 grams. In fact, I think that the population mean is less than 43 grams. This is what they are assuming. They're assuming that the population mean is less than 43 grams. The second person, they start weighing their 100 candy bars, and they get that the first one is 43 grams, and then they get one that's 55 grams, followed by 32 grams. Then they get one that's 75 grams and one that's 60 grams. And they go on and they weigh 95 more candy bars. And they come out with their sample mean to be 45 grams. And they say, well, I think that the population mean is greater than the 43 grams that it should be. My candy bars seem to weigh more than that. And so I think that the population mean is greater than that. Then the last friend, they start weighing their candy bars, and they get one that weighs 30 grams, 37 grams, 45 grams, 41 grams, and then 50 grams. They say, well, I have some that are below the 43 grams. I have some that are above the 43 grams. I'm not really sure what the population mean is. My sample mean came out to be 42 grams. But I don't want to say that I think the population mean is necessarily less than 43. I just know that I don't think it is 43. So I just think the population mean is not equal to 43. So we have three different scenarios. One person thinks it's less than, one person thinks it's greater than, and one person just thinks it is not 43. And so we are going to go through three separate hypothesis tests, testing each of these three hypotheses. There are several steps to a hypothesis test. We're going to look at those in the next few slides in this lesson. But in the slides in this lesson where we're introducing the steps, we're going to walk through scenario one. So we're going to walk through scenario one where we introduce the steps to a hypothesis test. And then once we've covered all of the steps, we'll look at scenario two and scenario three in the last two examples of this lesson.